what if I tell you that cinnamon you have been having in your coffee or maybe on as a cinnamon rolls, it's not even the real cinnamon. It's actually called Cassia, and it's sometimes called as a fake cinnamon, which is not actually a right thing to say to any of the ingredient or product, but anyways, sometimes it's called as a fake cinnamon, and it comes also called as Chinese cinnamon, but it's actually Cassia. But we are going to focus more on the real cinnamon today, and it's Ceylon cinnamon, and it's also called as Sri Lankan cinnamon. So welcome to our spice series. It's week 37, and we are going to talk about 3 real health benefits of the true or real cinnamon, Ceylon cinnamon. So guys, this cinnamon is it's different because even though it has kind of similar properties, but it's different in many ways, and we are going to see how it is. So let's focus on where it comes from. As the name suggests, it comes from Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka's older name was Ceylon, and Sri Lanka, as we all know, it's one of the islands in Asia. So its older name was Ceylon, so it is called as cinnamon. Okay, Ceylon cinnamon, and it is native to Sri Lanka. It is more popular or used in Mexico, Latin America, and India. And the Chinese cinnamon, which is the Cassia cinnamon, it's more used in US, Europe, and also in China. And it is actually native to Caribbean, South America, and Southeast Asia. Now you will be very, very intrigued by what's happening. How come we are not using the real cinnamon? Somehow it never reached US as that faster, so the Cassia cinnamon had become already popular here, and people prefer its taste more, because the difference is, let's see why we prefer Cassia cinnamon in United States more. Because definitely it's stronger, it's sweeter, and it is darker in color, and also it has those it's a little bit harder. You have to crack it really. If you are using the stick, you have to put a little pressure for cracking. It's less expensive, and it is very easily available in supermarkets. So that is the major reason we end up using this one. Okay, so the Ceylon cinnamon, it is native to Sri Lanka, like I told you. It's milder, it's less sweet, it has less color, it is comparatively expensive, and it is you have to buy it online, either online, or you can get it from the vendor, from any of the spice vendor, specialty spice vendor. It is very delicate, it's brittle, so you can break it very easily. So these are the differences between the appearances of the cinnamon. But now they both have the antiviral, antibiotic, antifungal, and antimicrobial properties. So they have a lot of health benefits. They both are very good. So even if you are using Cassia cinnamon, it's okay, it's not bad, you can definitely use it. But if you think you should get the hands on the real cinnamon, go ahead and order it online. So this is how it looks. I tried it. Mine, it still looks a little bit darker, so I don't know why, but this is what I ordered. So this is what came. Okay. So now, have you ever wondered how come the cinnamon sticks are very, very nicely curled, and how come they grow that way on the tree? So you have to know. I was always actually very interested or very curious about how these cinnamon sticks are rolled. So it's the inner bark of the tree. So what happens is, when the branches are cut, they actually gather the branches, they peel the branch, and then the inner bark, it is actually rolled like cigars. That's what they do. They roll them, the inner branches, and then they hang them to dry, and that's how we get, when they cut them, that's how we get the exactly rolled cinnamon sticks, and they look so beautiful. Okay, so, sorry for the interruption. So whenever I used to see those nice curls, I used to wonder how come we get these curls, how come these type of branches grow on the tree. But this is what they do, and they actually roll it like cigars. That's why it looks like that. But next time you go to the supermarket and see the sticks, definitely watch how cutely they are rolled. So there is a little bit controversy between both of these cinnamons. Okay, so the what we use is the Cassia cinnamon, and we are going to talk talk today more about the Ceylon cinnamon. But the Cassia cinnamon has coumarin. Both of them have, but the Cassia have in larger quantities. So what is coumarin? So coumarin is a compound found naturally in both the cinnamons. Okay. It is actually, it's a it's called actually coagulant, or it's clotting, anti-clotting agent. And they both have, but Cassia has in larger quantities, Ceylon has in less quantities. And it is said that the people, if they end up consuming Cassia cinnamon or the coumarin in large quantities, it can harm their liver. It can actually just have a threat to liver or kidney. They can have some problem with the liver and kidney. It can damage. So the best way is to eat it in a lesser quantity. So we have to be very careful about how much you eat this cinnamon. So the Cassia cinnamon which we are consuming, you can have that in 1 to 5 grams. That is around 1 teaspoon a day. So it doesn't mean that you have to, really be careful or be worried about what kind of, oh my God, whether I should have that cinnamon, it might harm. So no, please don't do that. It's actually, you can sprinkle the cinnamon here and there, and it will actually be very beneficial. So don't be scared if you read or see any of the reports about, oh, Cassia has more coumarin in it. No, it's not like that. It is not harmful if eaten in the right quantity. Now, if you are going to try to consume the supplements, then please be careful, okay? Because supplements, it's very easy to have the overdose of any of these. So make sure if you are trying to consume in the supplement form, then probably you should consult your general physician. You should consult your doctor. Okay, so I see a lot of friendly faces here. Thank you very much for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. And let's move on to health benefit. I always liked this health benefit of cinnamon because I always used it, and especially for kids. Since I knew about cinnamon, I started using it very, very widely for kids. Again, till 1 teaspoon, it's okay. So you can always sprinkle, like I said. So now cinnamon is a natural memory booster, and it helps actually cognitive abilities. So because this is the testing or the exam season going on, you have to make sure, if kids consume cinnamon in any form, it will help them a lot. So when thinking of brain or brain health, cinnamon works like a magic. So in the researchers, it's proved that it can boost the short and long-term memory, and it actually slows down the progression of, and also actually slows down the progression, and it even improves some of the symptoms of Alzheimer's and the Parkinson's disease. So researchers have proved that. So go ahead and use cinnamon sparingly. And one more thing is, in these days where we have these our smartphones in hand, we are always trying to multitask all the time, and there are 10 different things going on in our mind. So at this time and age, we need our brains to be faster. It's not that we are entering any kind of race here, but you want to have full benefit of your brain. So the movie Limitless always keeps somehow I remember when I talk about brain health, somehow I always remember about the movie Limitless. So if you haven't watched it, it's a very nice movie where he has those pills where he can have the full access to his brain power. And so scientists say that we only use 20% of our brain power. So if we can boost our brain power naturally with spices like cinnamon, then why not? So anyways, let's get back to our spice. So not only increasing for memory, it is also great for cognitive abilities. Now it can increase your motor and visual skills, and so a pinch of day of cinnamon here and there, go ahead and use it. Just have the ballpark of less than half teaspoon a day, so that way it will never cause any harm, but still it will be very beneficial. Now let's move on to our second health benefit. When I talked about the Cassia cinnamon or just the cinnamon, when the previous one I told how it helped family members from for us, but Chroma is saying, yeah, it's a limitless spice. You are very right. It is actually. Instead of popping some kind of pills, why not have these kind of spices in handy? And who here we have a lot of friendly faces, and hello everybody. Okay, here is Aniket, Pratibha, Archana, all of them watching. Thank you very much. And I'm going to talk about the second health benefit about the sugar. So cinnamon can help diabetes. Cinnamon slows the rate at which you digest your food. Okay, so what happens is the blood sugar, it doesn't allow your body's blood sugar to be risen. So it helps your meals to be digested slower. That way you don't feel hungry early, very fast. So cinnamon and it mostly helps in the complex carbohydrates. So if you are having any kinds of breads or pastas or even oatmeal, make sure you have cinnamon in some form. That way, there is no it slows down the digestion. There is very less rise, gradual rise of blood sugar, and it helps. And how do we know that? That is actually, this thing is recorded in one of the report from US Agriculture Research Service, and they have told that half a teaspoon, they have researched and found out even just a half or less than half a teaspoon of cinnamon a day has helped a lot of type 2 diabetes patients. So this I tried at my home and it worked for my family members. So make sure you add cinnamon in your diet. And last but not least, now it is about how cinnamon is a natural blood thinner, or how it is, like I just told, it's anticoagulant. Now you will think, oh, okay, it won't let your blood clog. But then while I was going through it, I thought, okay, when you have any kind of wound on it or injury, you need your blood to clot, right? You don't need it to be flowing. So in this situation, usually it's a great thing that your blood should clot, but sometimes clotting of blood can be very, very serious, and especially the scenario like when somebody is suffering from a heart disease. And the heart disease, what happens, it causes the thickening of blood. The thickening of blood occurs when you have heart problem, and the thick blood requires your body a lot of efforts for your blood to circulate, and then this increases the blood pressure, and then it causes it takes a toll on your circulatory system as well, and it is very dangerous for internal organs and the arteries of your heart, right? So at that time, the consuming a cinnamon in a very, in a sparingly, in a maybe sprinkle here and there, it helps. Largely it helps a lot because it is natural blood thinner. It helps thin the blood and it prevents the clotting. So this is how our cinnamon helps in blood clotting. So, but be careful if you are taking any kind of blood thinners as prescribed by your doctors. Make sure you tell your doctor that you add cinnamon here and there in your diet, because this can really affect your treatment. So make sure you maybe you can tell your doctor to reduce your ask if it's okay to reduce the dose of your medicinal pill, and then you can go ahead and start adding the cinnamon instead. So this was all about cinnamon, the health benefits. And while I was talking this, I thought, okay, you guys might think, oh, is it even that serious, just a sprinkle of cinnamon? But yes, it does affect. So there are some cases, there are some fatalities that people ended up using more, and they had to be rushed to the doctor. So make sure you know all these details. But again, don't be scared of cinnamon. It's a very, very beneficial, health benefit providing spice. So try using it. And of course, those who are very worried about the Cassia cinnamon, which I am told it has more coumarin, that is the blood thinner, please switch over to the Ceylon cinnamon because it has less coumarin. So if the Cassia cinnamon, which we consume, has 1% of the coumarin, then the Ceylon has 0.0004%. So it's really less amount. So go ahead and order it online and try to get it, and then you can use it without being scared of. Okay, so how you can add cinnamon in your diet? what I do is while cooking rice, I'll just add a stick of cinnamon, not the whole stick, of course. I'll just pluck or break a little bit, and maybe 3-4 strands or strings I'll add. And then of course you can add to the coffee, you can add to the oatmeal, or even while boiling the pasta, just add just one very very small piece of cinnamon in the boiling pasta. It smells so good, and of course it will help because pasta is a high carb food, so it helps to slow down the digestion rate. And then what you can also make a cinnamon tea, as we have always used with the spices. You can boil the water, add the 1 whole cinnamon stick to 3 cups of water, let it reduce to 2 cups, then let it steep for a couple of minutes, and then you string it, and then you can add a lemon and honey and use it and drink it and enjoy. Okay, adding cinnamon to either boiled potatoes or sweet mashed potatoes is a mashed sweet potatoes is a good idea, because again they are high carb food, and adding cinnamon not only gives it a nice taste and flavor, but it also helps you. Okay, and what is one more? There are many of the ideas how you can use cinnamon. Of course, you can tell me a couple of those. So if Nimisha is watching, Pallavi is watching, go ahead and let me know how you guys use cinnamon. So today we talked about the Ceylon cinnamon, and earlier we talked about the Cassia cinnamon. Again, they are the same. They are cinnamon, but they came from whole different regions, and they do have a little bit of here and there same health benefits, but some are have more rigor to it, especially the Cassia cinnamon, because it has more coumarin. So this was all about Ceylon cinnamon, and stick to us for last couple of weeks with our spice series. There are I think just 15 or so spices remaining. I don't remember, but we are opting for 51 spices, so we are almost there. And it is still going on, but it is a fun journey, so stick to it. Let us know which spice you would like to explore with us. We are still working on more spices, and this won't stop. We have many ideas to keep coming with the Facebook Live, and more ideas about food and nutrition. So thank you, Nimisha, for a wow, because that helps. And thank you everybody for watching, and see you next time with a new spice. Thank you guys. Take care and see you next time.